Let's talk money in this perspective, making it work. Now, it is the 16th of November, just probably a day after you've enjoyed the 1 shilling of your litre of petrol. But you know what? If you use a litre of petrol, you would have paid lesser by 9 shillings. So we could be talking about what? Around 160 something, 169, 167 thereof. So for me to make you understand, the landing cost of petrol went down substantially. In fact, right now, among your EAC states, you're paying the highest for litre of petrol. Now, let me also make you understand then. Now, you see what they did, or what President Ruto's government did. For every litre of petrol you are consuming, you are paying 9 shillings and 94 cents to a litre of diesel that your fellow motorists and manufacturers are paying. In a sense, not to see that diesel shoot up. So we're talking about a subsidy of about 1 shilling a litre across the two, but indeed, you would have paid lesser. Money point one. Money point two, the 300 billion budget cuts that the president was calling for, they're already taking shape. So you don't expect that a couple of ministries and state agencies are going to be hit heavily by what we're going to see next. So you're sort of praying that once then the budget committee gets to sit together and starts to effect this 300 billion shillings cut, that your ministry is not the one that is heavily affected. And I'll be telling you more details on that this week. Money point number 3. Today, we don't have our AMG realities in the studio. We're going to talk about land from this perspective, why it is the most valuable asset under real estate to invest in. Because if we look across the board, every time we talk about how the other asset classes in real estate hot and cold, or is when they're coming out of the bubble, land has always been appreciating. And if you look at the county levels right now, you will say that devolution is actually helping this particular segment retain its fair prices. We're telling you about a promotion called Bamba Shamba and why it's important for you now to start investing in land today as a youth. Those are the 3 money points. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kage. Let's start like this. Let's look at exactly how the markets have been. Before then, we move into that conversation this morning on why it's important then for you to invest in land. And I want us to jump into how the markets closed yesterday by looking at the stock market, where we now, in terms of our biggest gainers from yesterday. Let me look at the chart right now. We don't have Sasini again coming back at it. And you will say Nairobi Business Ventures has not really hit the numbers because we're at 3 shillings and 74 cents. Sanlam back to 9 shillings. Centum, by the way, even as we're talking about that being the list they're talking about, you can see 8 shillings and 50 cents could be a positive 5.2%. Let's then talk about the biggest losers from yesterday's trading as well, so we can talk about it this morning. And indeed, we do have, for me, I will look at one, again, Britam, right there. We're going to leave Scan Group out of it, so we get to look at those two. Britam, 5 shillings and 30 cents, not essentially where we saw Sanlam. We do also have Total at 22 shillings and 50 cents, maybe reacting from what the government has done in subsidizing that particular product there, diesel. Then let's move on to the last one this morning in terms of what were the biggest movers in terms of a trade. And we do have Safaricom corporate, but we'll talk about Safaricom, 8 million, not what we expect them to be, especially after that result. So you say things are cooling down, but they're the only ones who are looking up, because all the way from cooperative to Kenya Re, they are doing below 500,000, showing you where the money was, or where all your attention was targeted to. For now, I would want us to take a tiny breather right here on Look at Business. Once we come back, let's then get into that conversation on why it's important for you then to invest in land. We do have AMG Realtors in the studio this morning just to help us get through that entire conversation. Remember, online at Look Up TV, across all your social media platforms at Look Up Business. That is a hashtag. Once we come back, let's Let's talk about that particular one with AMG Realtors. Look at the asset classes in real estate, you're going to see that one of them stands out. Every time we get to look at county land prices, even within Nairobi City, one particular asset class is the one that keeps on then sort of supporting, you would say it's carrying the entire of the real estate sector in the country. And historically, you can say that land has been one of those potent areas to put your money in. Then something happened when devolution came into the country. We did see an entire opening up of the county governments, which indeed we haven't got to see for quite a long time in the country. You would say it's been over 10 years since we got into devolution. Then you're asking yourself the question, is still the same case? Can I put my money into land? But then there are other mysteries again that we have to dispel when it comes to investing in land. People tell you it's quite expensive. Yeah, the land is unaffordable. You rather put your money somewhere else, or there are other asset classes that you can actually get to put your money in other than land. Is that true? That's why we're here then to talk about it this morning on our Look at Business. I'm glad to be joined by Lynn Mwangi, who is the Nakuru branch manager, AMG Realtors Limited. Lynn, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Simba.
Welcome to Look at Business.
Thank you so much.
Every time I have conversations about land, I would like to ask personal questions because I am a youth.
Yeah.
I like to put my money in land.
Yeah.
And so the questions are going to be a bit personal.
Okay.
Let's start like that. Land. Is it the best asset class within real estate where you can put your money in and not worry about it?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's first and foremost, I'll start with AMG Realtors. We are a land selling company. We've been operational for the past 10 years. And as you'd mentioned, my name is Lynn Mwangi, the Nakuru branch manager. So yes, land is it's the next thing where people are putting their money so that they can be able to get the returns in the later year. It's actually called the land banking system, where you purchase, let's say, a property at 300,000. Then in the next 5 years, you get to resell it at even triple or even 4 times more than the initial price. So it's better than putting the money in the bank where it does not accrue any interest. So you end up putting it in land investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. But when you talk about interest, that's why I get really involved in. If you look outside here, the guys are going to promise you a particular interest. And right now we're looking at inflation, which is the 9.6%.
Yeah.
Then you're going to talk to me about interest. That the money that I put in, should I come a year later?
So for the interest, this is attributed by the appreciation of that land. There are a few elements that bring about the appreciation of that land. We have the infrastructure, we have the people putting up of homes in that area, we have people putting up commercial facilities in that area. So when we're communicating about interest, it's a very vague one, but what I mean is that, let's say for example, we have a project in Nanyuki that goes for 300,000, and that project is along this Nanyuki-Rumuruti road, where it has the government released 3 billion to fully tarmac that road. So already once that process starts, the tarmacking of those of that road, those 50 by 100 plots that you have in Nanyuki at 300,000, the price is going to drastically shoot. Because in terms of even proximity of that project, it's a kilometer or so off that major road that you are talking about. So with that, you find people now start up putting those cottages they want to put up in Nanyuki, putting up those residential homes they want to put up in that area, and that attributes to now the appreciation or the interest that you're talking about.
Pretty much. It's a very good thing that you're actually even talking about the county levels and all that.
Yeah.
Let me take you back a little bit. You have a promotion that's going on right now. It's called the Bamba Shamba.
Yeah.
And I would like to think that it's essentially pegged on the county level properties. There's one thing they say, that right now, if you look at Nairobi land prices, they're a bit unattainable for someone who wants to get that land and develop it later. Because look at what you're getting offered, it's a bit on the higher end. Talk to me about this promotion. Who are you targeting? Why should I be heavily invested in this particular promotion?
Okay, so this promotion is called the Bamba Shamba Reloaded, now AMG Realtors, where we've been giving up to 10 acres parcel of land, and these 10 acres are in Kenya. There are some are in Nanyuki. So what we do is, for every 50,000 that one invests in our projects, you have projects, as I had mentioned before, in Nanyuki. We have projects in Nakuru, where I come from. We even have in Nairobi, the Juja area. So for every 50,000 that you invest in this purchasing of our property, you get one raffle ticket, and you stand to win up to the 10 acres. So far as we speak, we've given out 3 acres. We have 7 more acres that is left. We're planning on doing that at the end of this month, the November 25th. It's been a promotion running for the past 3 months. That is the September, October, and November. In addition to that, you might ask, if we're not giving the acres, what else are we giving out? We've been giving gift vouchers so far to many of our clients. Our clients are targeted in Kenya, and others are outside Kenya, the likes of Qatar, UK, the United States. We have in Australia, Russia. So we are very vast in terms of where our clients are coming from. So that's why it's called the Bamba Shamba Reloaded. And the thought process behind this is a way of saying thank you to our clients, because we've been operational for 10 years now. So we are just stretching a hand of gratitude to our clients, telling them thank you for being with us in this journey, because 10 years is no joke, Simba. So we are just telling them thank you for investing with us, and as a way of giving back, get to win up the 7 acres that
Isn't it?
Yeah. So 5 acres go to one person, and the other 2 acres go to 2 individuals.
Yes, and that's for every other person who may want to continue investing with you during this period, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
You mentioned some towns in that as well. You're the branch manager in Nakuru as well. And this is the very first time that we're getting to speak about property outside the city. You know, it's been already centered in Nairobi so much. There's this conversation within the real estate sector now that, can you move outside and start investing in these other areas? What are these things that you, as AMG Realtors, are looking at before saying Nanyuki could be a prime spot for somebody who wants to invest in land? Nakuru could be a prime spot for somebody who wants to invest in land. Why should I go to this particular, I would like to say, satellite counties right now?
So before we do an initial purchase, as AMG Realtors, we only sell what we own. We do not broker land or sell land on behalf of a third party. So before we purchase any parcel of land, whether it's Nakuru, where we have the Lakeview Nakuru project, we need to do our due diligence. We need to check what are the areas of development in this area. For instance, where in Nakuru, was recently termed a city. So that the vibrance in that area in terms of developments, we have the Lanet Airport that is being put up. We have the Nakuru Mau Summit road that is being made a dual carriage. So those are the things that we look at, so that you as an investor, when you invest in Lakeview Nakuru, where we have the 50 by 100 plots that go for 400,000, when you buy that particular plot of land, you're guaranteed, as the area grows, also your plot grows in terms of the appreciation, as we were talking about. So we are very keen in looking at what are the benefits that one gets in this particular area. Where are we moving outside Nairobi? As you had earlier mentioned, land in Nairobi has really gone up in value. You find areas that used to be 200,000, right now it's close to 1 million, and this is being brought about the infrastructure that I was talking about. So there's someone seated there not in a position to purchase a particular plot for 1 million Kenya shillings, but they have the capacity to purchase the same size of plot at 400,000, and hence we are vast in terms of outside Nairobi, targeting the Nakuru area, targeting the Nanyuki area, where development is starting, and it has actually started as we speak.
the trouble, because when you come to me as a AMG Realtors, you're telling me invest in this particular place. As an investor, the people worried about, am I putting my money into something that is not going to give me a proper return? Are you saying you live towards the trouble of wondering what the city plan around this area is going to be, what the town plan around this area is going to be, or what the potential of this place is going to be in the next couple of years? Leave it to us. That is your worry. My worry is putting money into the property. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And should that be the general view of anybody who wants to invest in land, especially with you as well?
So not really. As a company, we're here to offer solutions in this land industry. So before you invest, the same question that you ask, where are we outside Nairobi? Where are we in Nakuru? Where are we in Nanyuki? So I'm in a position to tell you what are the things that are going to happen. And nowadays, the internet doesn't lie. If you just take your phone and Google Nanyuki, Ruruti, the Nakuru, Mau Summit Road, you find all that information there. So what we're doing is, since as a company, we just sell what we own, and we've done our due diligence for that particular area, we're able to tell you the benefits. What are you gaining in this investment? And in addition to that, regardless, depending on where our project is, we do something known as value addition, where we put in place well-graded roads, we put in place water, we put in place electricity, we fully fence, depending on the project. So even for you who wants to start developing in that particular plot, you're not limited to waiting for water, waiting for electricity to come to the plot. We do all that. So it's ready. It's a ready-made project, let me say that. Yeah.
Pretty much. So let's then talk about what sort of investor that you are targeting. Since we're already outside Nairobi, somebody would like to think it must be affordable. How much do I need to start investing today, if indeed I want to be part of this promotion that you're running, to see whether I can score myself a couple acres as a reward? And do you have payment plans, and what are these payment plans? Because if we're talking to the youth and we're telling them invest in land, it's got a good return, then you also got to look around and say, you guys do not essentially have money to be a real-time investor, but you can start. How can I start?
That's a very good question, Simba. We have a program known as My Youth na wa AMG, where we sell a 50 by 100 plot at only 120,000 Kenya shillings.
And why is that?
And now this, we know the youths. We are all youths. Me and you are youths. So So we find that youths are investing their money in the betting companies, and you know, betting, you lose money on that end. So we are here to say that 30,000, that 10,000, or that little amount of money that you have, you can invest in a property, because the youth projects, we have them in Nanyuki and Malindi. You can put that 10,000 in this particular plot of land. And with this 120,000 that I've mentioned, actually, or all our prices for our projects, it's inclusive of the legal fees, the stamp duty, the transfer charges, title processing. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, once you part away with the 120,000, it covers for everything until title delivery, which you get your title within 60 days upon completion of payment. So we are encouraging the youth. A youth is anyone 30 years and below. If you're a mom, you can buy a plot for your child. If you're 20, you can buy a plot for yourself. So we're encouraging the youth to invest, because they might think that buying land is for old people. That is the narrative that's outside there. But as AMG, we're stepping in and saying no. Lynn or Simba, you can invest in land in Nanyuki. And I had mentioned Nanyuki is an area that is growing. So here you are with your plot that goes for 120,000. By the time you're 40, by the time you're 50, the value of that land will have appreciated. So we are, in terms of our target market, everyone is our client, whether in Kenya, whether you're outside Kenya, as I mentioned, the likes of Qatar, Saudi Arabia. We're able to accommodate any Kenyan who wants to invest in land in Kenya. So we are not, we've not separated this category of people and this category of people to be the people to invest in land.
Pretty much. So one question that we're going to run into, and I actually did run into it, is that one majority of guys saw it and they said, well, this is quite affordable. This 120,000, and you're saying from 120,000, is there a payment plan within it? So someone can say, okay, let me start now. And then once you're responding to that, somebody said, I don't want to buy land to own, I want to buy to dispose of. Who fits in that category? And what is the appreciation, you would say, a percentage of these properties in these particular areas for this investor who's saying, I'm going to buy this year, next year I want my money back, let me sell?
So in terms of the payment plan, we are able to accommodate each and every individual. Then we have persons who will be able to complete the balance in 2 months. We'll have someone who will be able to complete the balance in 3 months, 4 months. So what we do is just reach out to us. We're able to come to an agreement in terms of you have this amount as a startup and you want to clear this balance within this stipulated
So there's no
period
sort
of
of
months.
fixed plan,
Yes,
isn't there?
yes, because everyone has different needs.
Gotcha.
Everyone is able to pay in a different way. So what we just do is that give us a call. We're able to come to an agreement because you have others who can pay within 6 months and we'll still accommodate them.
This particular plan, I'm sorry to cut you short,
Yeah,
darling.
it's okay.
This particular plan of, we don't have essentially a fixed plan of payment. Just come, let's draw your payment plan. Do you think that that's exactly what has been lacking in the sector and why majority of youth have been shying away from it?
Yeah, that is one of the things. The second thing is that the youths don't know, the lack of knowledge to know that they can invest at a young age.
Yes.
Because you find our peers, when you in a discussion where maybe you're having a machoma and you bring about land investment, they're like, we can't buy land now. It's too expensive. That's the work of our father, our uncles, name it. So, but now we're saying, yes, we can have that Nyamachoma, sit down and discuss about land investment. You can come as a group of 5 people and buy a quarter of an acre, buy an acre in Nanyuki. And that is something that when you look back once you're older, it's something that you will say, I made a very good decision. So we're just encouraging, like if it's the youth, if they want to come and purchase and complete the balance within 3 months, that is fine. It is completely acceptable. Yeah.
Pretty much. So let's talk about then the appreciation of the land prices in this area. For the youth who are listening to you and saying, I've got to spend 120K right here with me. Can I put it in 2 years and after that go back, recoup my investments? Could you talk to them about what are they looking at in terms of the returns? Because one of the reasons they get into betting is if you're lucky, you'll
get the 10,000 quick money, quick cash.
You don't have to wait for the end of the year.
So let me paint a picture for you. Right now, a 50 by 100, a plot of land, goes for 300,000.
Which place is that?
In Nanyuki. We're talking about Nanyuki because the youth project have in Nanyuki and Malindi. So let us talk about Nanyuki. So in Nanyuki, a 50 by 100 plot of land goes for 300,000. But you're offering it to you at 120,000. So already you have an added advantage. So let us look in the long run in terms of 10 years. Actually, 10 years is quite a stretch. Let us look at it in 3 years' time. This will be double or even triple of the initial price, and I'm working with the 300,000. So what does it mean for that youth person? When we do now the quick math, it's 6 times or 5 times more than what they bought it for in a span of like 2 years. So in terms of the appreciation, in terms of the interest, if they want to resell it, if the goal is to resell it in the near future, they're able to do that and get, let's say, profit. Maybe if it's a business, they're able to get profit in it. Where I invested 120,000, I've sold this particular plot at even 800,000 or more, and I'm able to get the change. I'm able to get that as profit, and they'll be able now to invest in these high-end projects that they think that they can't invest in. They can come maybe invest in Nakuru. You never know. They can come and invest in Nairobi, where they want to put up their holiday home. So it is very, very advantageous to them.
Somewhere other question. Today we're going to answer all of them. I told you some of these questions are going to be very personal. See how money market managers will tell you, just give us your money. You don't have to think about anything. You come back after a year, we give you back your money back. This is the interest rate that we're getting for. If you have anything in between, we'll kind of come and talk to you about it. Now, people want to sell, but they don't want to sell it themselves. I've paid the down payment. Let's talk after 2 years. Are you still going to give services to these people who say, I bought with you, this is your property that you gave me, I've got my title deed, I'll come sell this one after 2 years. Do you also help them sell as a realtor as well?
as I'd say, the beginning of this interview or communication is, as AMG Realtors, we only sell what we own. We cannot sell land on behalf of a third party. And that's part of our values, that I can't sell your parcel of land. So the only thing that I can do as Lynn, in a case scenario, maybe there is a client within that project that you invested in, wants to add a plot, and you're selling the plot at that point in time, I can only connect the two of you. But as AMG Realtors, we'll just step back, because those plots are no longer under AMG Realtors in terms of the title deed. It's maybe reading John Kamau and Elizabeth Wangari. So we can only connect John Kamau and Elizabeth Wangari to do the transaction. But we cannot able to take Elizabeth Wangari plot and sell on her behalf.
I see that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me about the other areas that you're looking at in the country. But the people might say, well, Nanyuki is quite a bit of distance, man, and I live in Nairobi. I want to spend the rest of my life in Nairobi. For someone who's living in Nairobi and wants to invest in Nanyuki, I know they're listening to you, why would they buy property in Nanyuki? And you know, there's the whole thing about you gotta start owning property, you gotta start owning a home, man, and you know, you gotta start thinking about your retirement as well. Why would I want to own property in Nanyuki if 96% of my time, I'm just putting that figure outside there, is in Nairobi? I live and work in Nairobi, and there's this particular good deal. I've been looking for 50 by 100s, but where I live could be like 4 million, 6 million, and somebody's telling me, come get it 120K in Nanyuki. Why would I do that right now?
So we have two different types of clients in that case scenario.
Yes.
We have one who wants to settle now. They don't want to buy land for speculation purposes or for it to appreciate and resell it. And they want in Nairobi, as you had mentioned. So as AMG Realtors, we have projects within Nairobi. We have a project along Kangundo Road. It's called the Amira Gardens, where there's still 50 by 100 plots of land, and people in the neighborhood have already built. They already connected water and electricity in the area. So for someone who wants to settle in, because from Kangundo Road you can commute to town using the city shuttles. So for someone who wants to settle in Nairobi, we have the Amira Gardens project in Kangundo Road, which are the 50 by 100 plots of land, and they go for 800,000 Kenya shillings. Now, we have another client who wants an area like a gated community. We have a gated community in Juja. We have a project known as the Juja Prime Phase 4, where when I say a gated community, what do I mean? We've put in place water. We've put in the city council, the Juja City Council water. We've put in place solar streetlights in the area. We've also put in place the well-graded roads, a perimeter wall for security purposes. The project itself is less than a kilometer off the tarmac. So we have the convenience. It's an area where you can put up your home. If you have children, there's a playground area in the project where your kids can go and play. There's security 24/7, a guard at the gate 24/7, securing the whole project. So we're able to accommodate each and every client. We also have a client who would want for commercial. They don't want to put up a home. We also have a project set for that. Same case in Juja, where if they want to put up apartments, business complexes, it's very much viable. So maybe for the Juja project, it's still a 50 by 100 plot of land that goes for 2.8 million. All inclusive of the whole title processing, the transfer charges, the legal cost, stamp duty. You don't need to part away with an additional amount, or we don't have any hidden charges in our purchase price.
Pretty much. Now, just to confirm, somebody who wants to enter the competition can go to your website, get the competition, isn't it?
Yes. Alternatively, if they want to get to win these 7 acres that we're giving out, they can just send Bamba to our short code of 40299, and we'll be able to assist them and guide them on the procedures.
Pretty much. Now, Lynn, in 15 seconds, my director wants us to kick us out of the studio. In 15 seconds, paint for me a picture of AMG Realtors in terms of giving investment solutions in real estate in the country. 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yes.
So AMG Realtors Limited is a land selling company. We only sell what we own. We do not have any hidden charges. Our price is inclusive of the whole title processing, the transfer charges, and you get your title deed within 60 days. And all this is stated on our sale agreement, which is a binding contract. And we've been operational for the past 10 years. And they're able to win 7 acres this month of November. All they need to do is send the word Bamba to 40299.
Can't say it any better. Lynn, thank you very much for coming by. It was lovely hosting you. Now, you do know exactly what to do. Get into that competition, but not even beyond the competition. I'll tell you, man, I mean, land is one of the top asset classes in the country if you want to make money. Look at the values. Talk to all the realtors. They will tell you land has kept its value and it's still going up. Thanks to devolution. Now we're talking about places like Nakuru. We're talking about Nanyuki, many more. Malindi as well is included in that. Don't know where Kisi is in this conversation. Anyway, I'll be asking Lynn off camera. For now, we take a short break. Once we come back, I'll be getting into another conversation on corporate branding. Why it's very important for you to get that identity in your business and how you can do it. Once we come back.
Hi there, my name is George Washuri. I am so happy to see you, and today I am here to enumerate, to explain how we package our land investment. We have 5 levels of our property, and we classify these levels as 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. This is what we mean, that if you buy a property that is 1 star with Optiven, one of the things that is evident, the property is cheaper, is below $500,000. And this particular property is basically bare land. We only do subdivision, put the beacons, and then produce titles. The second level, we call it 2 star. This is prime land, whereby we grade the roads, we put a marking fence, do the beacons, and produce titles. The third level, we call it 3 stars. This 3 star is value added plots. We do the malam, we do the water, we do the mesh fence, and there's a caretaker on site. The fourth level is 4 star. 4 star is ready to build development. We do very nice maram roads, we plant the trees, we put the water tower, we also put a caretaker on site, and finally, the 5 star. The 5 star is premier, it's the top level, and this one, we do cable roads, we do water management through underground culverts, we do underground power, we do fountain for water, we do beautiful and nice permanent gates, we do perimeter wall, and also do install the CCTV, and the whole property is manned by uniformed security. Some of these properties, these 5-star properties, we do a clubhouse and also construct swimming pool. Thank you once more for trusting Optiven. We value you. We are at Absa Plaza, 14th floor and 15th floor. God bless you.
Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
Good to have you join us on Heart to Heart.
We bring you stories of people who, despite the pressures they experienced, still trusted God to see them through.
The seeds that was sown in me helped me navigate and overcome that period of my life.
New testimonies, new insights, and even better revelation of the good things God has in store for us.
There is always a blessing waiting for someone in every episode.
Welcome back. You are watching A Look at Business. My name is Simba Elijah Charles King. Now let's talk about a particular aspect of business. And for any other person running business, you really need to be concerned about what your brand is. In fact, do you know what a brand is? That particular name, what does it really mean for somebody to say, this is my brand? All right, today we're going to delve into issues of that perspective so we can get to understand how you can start building your brand as a corporate or a small business, so that now every other time you say that this is my business, then indeed I will say that this is your particular brand. And joining me then right here live on our show, this particular episode, we're joined by Kimani Patrick, who's the CEO, CARLSTIC Group Limited. Kimani, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing really good.
It's been a minute. I was telling you 2 years.
Yeah, it's been like a flash. I mean, I didn't even notice that it's been that much time. Yes.
Guess what? We move on.
Yes.
Now, could you kindly talk to me about CARLSTIC Group Limited first?
Yes.
Before then we get to talk about branding and the entire world of branding.
Well, CARLSTIC is a brand communications agency. We help companies in brand positioning and helping companies take their place in the market and win their market share.
Yes.
So we do this by offering a variety of solutions. We do PR and communications. We do brand identity designs. We do website development, and we do stakeholder engagement. Plus, of course, a lot more.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yes. Now, let's talk about this particular one then.
Yes.
Branding.
Yes.
Kimani, I want to start from a very basic point. You know, branding, people think it's quite an easy word.
Yes.
But when somebody says branding, what do they actually mean?
Well, most people, when you ask them about branding, they'll talk about, you see, when you look at the wall, there's, of course, the designs that are there. Yes.
You know, the name of the business, eh?
Yes.
It's this green in color, and that's if you're done.
Yes, another person will think about it's their logo, you know, having their logo on different things, like on the cap, on their T-shirts, on the hoodie. Well, those are just elements of branding. But branding is the identity of your business. What do people associate yourself with, from the visual to the messaging that is associated with your brand, including how do people feel about you? What are the words that are associated with your business? That is all about branding. It's a whole aspect of a lot of things that goes into business, including your from the visuals that we've talked about to your messaging, to your employer identity, to your consumer engagement, and to the whole public engagement and all that.
Pretty much.
Yes.
So they say, before you start branding or say that I want to start to brand my business or my corporate, you're going to ask yourself, why do I want to brand?
Yes.
So Kimani Patrick, why would I want to brand my business?
Actually, the first and immediate question is, what do you want to brand?
Hold on. So, hold on. So the what comes first before the why?
Yes, I mean, Simba, before you decide to brand, you definitely have to have something that you're branding. Are you branding your business that is already registered, or you're thinking of coming up with a business, or it is the personal branding? Because you as a human being, you also need to, as a professional, you also need to have your personal brand. So let's assume our viewer already has a business. They have a very nice business name, not Kimani and Sons.
Wait, you say that? Wait, hold on. Are you saying that Kimani and Sons, Simba and Sons will not be a good name for business?
It's a good name, but we'll get into that, into choosing a name for your business. You want to choose a name that is really easy to remember, unless you're in the legal profession, where we go Kimani and Simba associates, advocates, and so on. So you have a wonderful name. You've already registered the name, and you're thinking, you now want to get out into the market. Now you have to think about, how will my business look? What colors will I associate my business with? That is now when you start designing, the simple things, the logo. How will my logo look like? Do I have an icon? What will be the font that I will use for my logo? Then what will be my tagline if you want a tagline to associate your business with?
Yes.
Then when you move from there, then you go to the brand assets, the letterhead, the business card, the company profile, the flyers, the receipt and invoice book, because you want them to be, consistent in color, in the words that you're using, in the font you're using, then you get into the website. Those are the most simple things. When you do that now, let's assume you have an office. You're going to decide how your office will look like. You know, which words are you going to use, you know, printing on the walls for the internal communications. And then now when you move from there, then now you have to go now to decide how am I going to reach out to, you know, the community out there, the consumers and the public.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Then you ask yourself then, because you put the elements of that branding together.
Yes.
Then let's go to that. Then why? But the why is also as important as the what, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So why should I start branding?
It's something really simple. If today you walk out of this place and you need some cash, and maybe if you allow me, I'll mention some brands. You probably bank with Equity, you have a Safaricom line, you have M-Pesa, and you want to withdraw some cash. If you want to withdraw money from M-Pesa, what do you go looking out for? Green. If you see some green somewhere, you'll be like, there has to be an M-Pesa there.
Could be,
yes.
Yeah.
We associate the green with M-Pesa.
Yeah.
If when you see the red shade of Equity and the white combined, you'll think, oh, there's an Equity bank around. So associating, you know, it is what your identity is, what people associate yourself with, the visuals. Then now, when it comes now to customer relations, it's about the professionalism. Do you want people to know you as warm or rude? Do you want people to know you as the most hospitable brand? And now that goes into also now training your people into how you want them to communicate, how you want them to make the outsiders, the stakeholders feel and experience your brand.
Yes.
That is why this is very important, especially the visuals, because people want to see something and be able to know, oh, they're here.
This particular business.
Yes,
yes. The idea behind it then is that you should pick something that doesn't have already a negative connotation within that space that you're trying to operate in. Is that where it becomes difficult then for a small business by itself or a corporate to try and say, well, we're going to do our internal branding and make it a success? Is that why you come in as a CARLSTIC group then to tell them, this is exactly the route that we need to go? Which one works? Do you go by yourself when you're trying to brand, or do you outsource that particular service? We like to think that a corporation might, or a smaller business, KIMANI, might not have the prowess or the material density to do that by itself. Yes.
So for CARLSTIC, we don't do the hard work. We do the strategy and inform the implementation, and then outsource those who will do the actual implementation, the printing, and the fabrication, and all that. But now for us, what we do is when we come to your business, we sit down with you, because definitely when you're calling us, there's something, there's a goal, there's an objective you want to achieve. So we sit down with you, we evaluate your what you've already been doing, what is this brand standing in the market, what are the challenges that you've been facing, what are the opportunities that you're seeing.
So but hold on, brand, you're saying something very important there.
Yes.
The brand standing within the market.
The position, yes.
Yes, well, but why is that important?
Because the previous show you were talking about land and investments and all that. If your brand has been associated with conning people, and that could not be true, we have to be looking at the crisis communication. We come up with the crisis communication plan for you, because the perception in the market is when they hear about your name, when they associate it with Wakora and all that. And that is what most people associate with, especially brands which are selling land and houses. You want to come in and tell them, hey, we are here, we are reputable, and this is what we do. This is why you should trust us. So we have to come and evaluate. We also have to do research and look at the communications that have been going out there. What has the media said about you? What have people on Twitter and Facebook posted about you? It could be a comment, it could be a tweet, it could be a post. We have to look at the conversations around your brand. Because when you come in to shape your brand communications, we have to move from somewhere to somewhere. So we first have to evaluate where you are. Now, if you're a brand that has nothing going on out there, it's just you guys and your customers, you've never been in the media, no one has ever mentioned about you, you don't have a Facebook or a LinkedIn or Twitter page. Now we are almost starting from zero. But now we have to build on what are the successes that you've had in the past.
Yes. Now, you will say that you are operating in a space
Yes.
where you're not there by yourself.
Yes.
In fact, one of the challenges for smaller businesses, and you're going to realize that, of course, you've already seen that,
Yes.
is that for you to carve out your own identity in a
Yes.
space that is generally populated,
Yes.
it's quite a challenge.
Yes.
Talk to me about brand identity in relation to your competition. How do I stand out?
As a
Very, very
business.
important, yes.
Now, let's look at even the smallest types of businesses. I know you eat sukuma,
Yes,
managu, and all that. So you
definitely.
have your
Yeah.
favorite mama mboga, right?
Yeah,
Why do you go there? Maybe because they talk to you nicely, they are clean, they they communicate to you well. You're able to make an order, and then they call you when you pick. You know, those aspects of customer service.
Yes.
So it's all about part of branding your small business, and that is what makes customers choose you instead of going to the other person. Things like reliability is also part of branding. So how you stand out from the market is the experience you offer. You know, when people talk about branding, they talk about the things you're talking about, the visuals. But now it is also part of the visuals.
Yes.
When we come into your business, we inform the kind of, even the words that you're going to use and transform even your whole team. We train them on how to handle customers in terms of how to handle the publics so that they can have that wholesome experience. Yes.
For smaller businesses, and I'm going to mention something that you would say it's maybe a challenge or it's not. They will talk about the costs of branding. You tell a smaller business, we need to brand you, and you come in and then this is exactly what I'm going to do to you. They look at it and then say, is there a cost that I actually need to incur? Talk to me about branding vis-a-vis cost.
Yes.
Do you think it's a necessary investment
Yes.
for corporates and businesses to have their brand, or it is something that they can develop over time? And I'm going to put it in this perspective.
Yes.
People say, just make a good product.
Yes.
People are going to look for you. They don't care about who you are. If you have a good service, a good product, you create your brand. But let me just put it like this, Kimani.
Yes.
You create a good brand
Yes.
from a good product and service.
Yes.
Nobody cares about the rest of them. Is that a misconception? That despite you having a good product or service, that you don't have a brand?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, when I came in here, I asked you if you're live on Facebook so that I can be able to share with people and
Yes.
tell them I'm here. So the way people talk about you or the way a brand grows is by people talking about them. It's as simple as that. When you build a very good product and you don't tell people what you have, how on earth are they going to know that you have a good product? You have to market, you have to do publicity and all that. So let's talk about what you've mentioned about cost. One thing I tell people is, you know, there's this message that always goes out, you can start a business and do it without money. I mean, that's not true. Yes, you can start a business without money because all you need is an idea, and ideas are God-given. But to build a business, you need money. I'm not going to come here and tell people you can brand your business for free and then, I mean, do it without any cost. There's, of course, cost to it. But what happens is when talking about small business, there's different types of small businesses.
Yes.
There's small businesses that want to scale and grow. There's small businesses that want to serve, you know, you have hardware, you just want to serve the community. So the costs are totally different. When you're building a brand which is going to, you know, regionally, nationally, international, compared to you're building a business that is, you know, serving 200 customers a month. So that is how you divide the cost. So if you, let's say, for example, the basic things that I was talking about, the logos, the letterhead, the brochures, the flyers, and all those things, definitely they'll cost you from as little as 15,000 to design alone. That is if you come to CARLSTIC. Yes. But now that can go to as more as millions. If you're talking
Yes.
about, let's say, a bank rebranding and changing their brand identity, that will definitely cost a lot of millions.
So when smaller businesses come to you, Kimani,
Yes.
of course, a cost for smaller businesses is going to be an issue in everything that they do.
That's
How do you
true.
approach
Yes.
branding from the constraint of cost? If a
Yes.
business is telling you, we're going to walk the journey with CARLSTIC, but
Yes.
then we do not necessarily have whatever it is that you're asking for right now. How do you walk that journey of branding with them?
So the most important thing we do is, like I mentioned, we have to first understand what exactly are they trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And what is the smallest part of the business that we can start by changing. So if we change this, it will move your business to the next level. And then when it moves to the next level, now we're going to pick up the next. Because let's say a small business, what they want is to put a signage that talks about the business. Simba hardware. So you need a logo, and then you're going to design that, the signage, and then the guys who are doing the fabrication will fabricate and then put it. That could be more urgent than you having a letterhead. Probably you never write letters. That could be more urgent than having a profile for yourself. So we look at what is the most important thing that you need now, then can put your business moving and getting
and
ahead.
sort of grow with that smaller business.
Exactly.
Okay, I want you to check this one as quickly as you can.
Yes.
The understanding of a brand, again, is that you got to understand what your customers want, the product or service, understanding what they really need.
Yes.
How do you help smaller businesses understand the exact needs of their clients? Because you will say, despite your good branding, the thing that is going to speak for you as a business is going to be about the product or the service that you're putting outside there. So how do you help businesses understand what their clients actually need?
So the most important thing, like I said, first, you have to tell us who your customers are. In as much as you come and help you with brand communications, we can't come and tell you, hey, these are your customers. You started a business to focus on a particular market. So you have to tell us, these are our customers, these are their pain points, these are the challenges they're facing, and this is the solution that you're offering to them. So our part is to come and tell you, this service you're offering to solve these particular customers, this is how you can communicate to them. This is how you can appeal to their emotions. This is how you can present yourself better so that they can receive you well. That is how we come in. And then now we prepare the messaging that you're going to use in terms of reaching out to them, and advise us on the channels that you're going to use. If you're a big business, definitely you're going to use the media. We'll do media relations for you. We help you secure TV interviews. We help you secure, your ads on placements, billboards, and all that. But if you're a small business, it could be as simple as design some flyers, take them out, give to people. Prepare a small signage that you can put outside your shop so that when people are passing by, they can be able to see it with an arrow pointing at your shop.
Pretty much.
It's that simple.
So let's talk about what, and I was saying to you this, you have been blamed, KIMANI, that you offer service, but then you don't walk the journey with this particular business. Come give them a strategy, this is exactly what we're going to do. After that, after you implement it, that's it, you move on to the next one. That has been the blame for majority of the businesses that are in your space. I'm not saying that you've got this from CARLSTIC. Talk to me quickly of that as well. So I'm getting told we only have 2 minutes left for this. How do you walk the journey in branding with a corporate or a business?
So what we do is when we sign up any client, we come up with the terms of service and the timeline of the project. So we have the project implementation plan. If it is 6 months, we come up with the pre-planning, the implementation, analysis, and reporting. And when we are able to meet the desired goals, we are able now to sign off and exit the project. So we always have agreed timelines on how long we are going to serve you.
Pretty much. So if you feel like the brand then or the campaign is not really reaching its goals, is there an evaluation that you do, and then after that look at exactly how to correct it within that timeline?
Weekly. We do our evaluation weekly and see how we can change our strategy, because we have to see what is working, what is not working, and what we can adjust so that we can be able to get the results we are actually looking for.
Somebody's looking at you right now and saying, I want to work with CARLSTIC for my branding or my smaller business. How can they get you, KIMANI?
Our office is at Thika West Center on 5th floor. They can reach out there, or they can give us a call on 0704 613 0704 218 613, or visit our website carlstic.com, and they can be able to actually sign up for the services they need. They are going to get onboarded there, and we're going to reach out to them.
I'll call you back. We've just scratched the service of this conversation. Guess what? I'll call you back so now we get a deeper conversation.
Am I ready?
Probably. Get a smaller business there so we try and brand it. And then after I get to follow you.
I will actually be much open if you have a small business here, so that they can ask questions and give actual answers to a particular problem they are facing.
That's going to be a very interesting episode. I'm working on that, KIMANI.
And I'll actually pick up that business and offer them branding for free.
That's from the CEO, CARLSTIC. Guess what? I'm going to look for that business We're going to come here, and then it's going to walk the journey with you. Only thing that you have to do, you have to reference to them and say, it's CARLSTIC behind this brand that I got here. In conversation with KIMANI, who's the CEO of CARLSTIC Group Limited, who are into branding and every other issues on product placement and then your social media appearance and all that. Talk to them. Guess what? They'll give you that particular brand. Whew, I wish we could continue. We can't. Ian Kitani comes next with his team. Let's talk about World Cup and why Cristiano Ronaldo might perform the best. And then the whole thing about Man United and Cristiano Ronaldo is going to turn over again for that particular team. I'll see you for another episode tomorrow. Kimani, thank you very much for coming, man. Yeah, this was fantastic. Yeah? Quick. Yeah,